holy shit.
Man, we made it out.
Boy, I know. I'm like, if you die, I die right after you. There's no fucking
You're
way.
like Romeo and Juliet.
Dude, I'm out.
Scary.
I'm out, you know? And it's funny, but it's at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, there was so much effort put into it. And you start to see these crazy rhetorics, like you mentioned, and you're like, we look at each other, you know, and she doesn't take any side of the females or the males. We're very both just pragmatic with our approaches on people's opinions. And, you know, even if there's a guy, I'll be like, do you hear this motherfucker? Like, I was like, that's bullshit. She shouldn't, everyone shouldn't deal with that, you know? Like,
no, I agree.
but it's just, it's like matter of fact shit. It's just like, do we have to make this about anything other than human beings? We just, and you know what? That's how we approach things, honestly. The key to our success is that we always start at the human being on the other side.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Today I'm here hoping to be able to interview Joey Wilder. He is the creator, inventor, founder, you name it.
We have Joey Wilder, first time coming on the show.
But at that moment, I had a choice to make. I either hit this while it's hot, while people are hyped up about it, or kind of let it simmer out. And I've been told by many great mentors that it's all about the timing of things. Guys, welcome back to the Joey Wilder podcast, where we have quick wit, dad jokes, a little bit of sarcasm, and the no BS approach to relationships and business. I'm excited to have you guys on. And
Excited to be on. This is fun.
yeah. Now, I brought you guys on because we always have such exciting conversations about everything and anything. And you guys just have really great perspectives. I've known each of you for a really long time. Each of you in different ways and then intersecting ways, and done a lot of different things. And you guys have known me through different phases of life. So I wanted to bring you guys on to not only just chat about life, but you both are married. And from my perspective, you both have a beautiful marriage and seem very happy. And you've both expressed that to me. But I'd love just to hear what's worked for you. What hasn't? What are the things what kind of led you here? But just to kind of start and preface that, what would you say one thing in this past week was a highlight for each of you?
It's been cold. So my attitude has been in the morning, and he's been great.
Yeah.
I've been just appreciating just little things all day. One day, even he had said bye, but then he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then I left. He ran out.
Oh, he ran out to just say his goodbye to you?
And I'm like, oh.
That's so cute.
And I work with kids all day, so there's a lot moments. But that was the little things. And then funny because later on in the week, I'm just thinking the little things. The little things. It's been a lot this week because I haven't been the greatest in the mornings.
From the cold?
Thank you.
That's beautiful. The little things, the small details are part of the bigger picture at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's the whole picture. It's, we have this rule. You asked what some of the keys to, what brings us to this point.
What was the highlight of your week first?
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I know. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I want to hear about that, too.
Well, I guess it just happened.
Yeah.
She noticed. But she always notices, and I know she does. The highlight of my week, every moment I've had a chance to just stop and appreciate, there's been a lot of gratitude lately, and mostly for her for the fact that, we started doing this thing, or at least I did, where started thanking her for a lot of the things she doesn't do. And it's funny because when we're at home, we're helping each other in the kitchen, we're cleaning up, we're getting settled in after a work day or whatever, and we put on YouTube shorts or whatever. Sometimes it's comedy, sometimes she's scrolling through the reels, and a lot of things that come up about relationships and dating, things that we're not in the arena anymore, but it's helpful because it allows us to see what's going on, or at least what's being perceived as what's going on in relationships.
Yeah, what's the rhetoric and dialogue? What are the things that are happening out there? It's wild.
It's so reinforcing for us because we're looking at each other like, holy shit.
Man, we made it out.
Boy, I know. I'm like, if you die, I die right after you. There's no fucking
You're
way.
like Romeo and Juliet.
Dude, I'm out.
Scary.
I'm out, you know? And it's funny, but it's at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, there was so much effort put into it. And you start to see these crazy rhetorics, like you mentioned, and you're like, we look at each other, you know, and she doesn't take any side of the females or the males. We're very both just pragmatic with our approaches on people's opinions. And, you know, if there's like, even if there's a guy, I'll be like, do you hear this motherfucker? Like, I was like, that's bullshit. She shouldn't, shouldn't deal with that, you know? Like,
No, I agree.
but it's just, it's like matter of fact shit. It's just like, do we have to make this about anything other than human beings? We just, and you know what? That's how we approach things. Honestly, the key to our success is that we always start at the human being on the other side. We don't play gender. I think I've been cooking more now than you have, right? And that was no pressure. That was no me too. That was just our schedules aligned to the point where it just makes more sense that I knock it out.
Yeah.
Why
It's
am I
just
gonna?
It's one of your why are you gonna wait until she gets home? Like,
Exactly.
I've been waiting. You're finally home.
I got
Take
it.
turns
Yeah, like-
without that pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know?
It's like it, and some people will do that and like keep tabs. Like, oh, you know, I did it 4 times last week, and
Well,
I have
So
guys
the one
tell.
thing we keep no tabs. in
Yeah.
this
Well,
household.
when you start keeping tabs, it's like that's one of the pitfalls of a relationship. Like I have people come to me and they're like, yeah, and she only did this twice last week, and I'm like, and how many times did she do this? And or like on the inverse, and
if you want to, you're not going to keep tabs.
yeah.
Can I play devil's advocate? I'm gonna call BS. We're keeping tabs. You know why we're keeping? There's keeping tabs as a negative narrative,
Oh yeah.
and then there's a healthy way to keep tabs. Like, hey, there's been a shift here in responsibilities. I haven't noticed a change in our dynamic. Like maybe, you know, like if someone started working more hours, if somebody had some new responsibility, she's taking a course, I'm doing what if you notice those things, you should expect a shift.
Oh yeah.
And hence the score might shift, or perhaps you might change responsibilities so that it still feels equal. But that's not to say we're not keeping score or tabs, but there's a healthy way and an unhealthy way to do that. Because to not, we've had this discussion, we shouldn't avoid keeping tabs. We should do it in a way that's cohesive to our shared values, instead of it being like a judgmental thing that you're not even aware of. Because to fill her in is to let her know what matters to me, and do you share this value? And if you don't, then, you know, where do I meet you halfway?
Yeah, or can you meet me here? Where like where's the where can you meet me? And most
Right.
people
Have a
won't have.
conversation.
Yeah, most people are like, yeah, she's not doing this. Have you spoken about it? No, she should know. And I'm like, dude, she's a mind reader.
Right. And right.
No one
You
is.
should know thing is the no.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that.
Yeah,
there's a
and
lot
it's
of
sad,
narratives
too.
that have negative connotations to them, and we always stop, and in most instances we go, but wait a minute. Is that us just being reactive because that's how we were taught, or that's how we see the environment respond to these statements? Or is this a choice we're making, or can we choose otherwise? Do we always have to take it so negative? And we find it's like, no, this is what we fucking say it is. This is our fucking relationship. It's even our communication. We don't leave that to anyone else to choose or decide, you know?
Yeah.
Like we always, it's kind of a joke, but it's like we kind of create, it's English, but it's our own language. It's our own language because when we speak, we don't assume where the other person's coming from. We either we know for sure, or we ask. And we ask with the intention that I know they must mean well, you know, or even if you didn't take it wrong, it's like, they always mean well. Otherwise, why am I with them? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you were each always that way? Like not only with each other, but like in the past, or was that a learned trait? Was that something how did you each get to the point where we need to be able to hear each other, and in order to do so, we need to ask questions? Was it like friction between the two of you? Was it lessons learned that led you here? I'm just curious.
I think it's a huge combination. But the need to ask questions and clarify was definitely started here in this relationship.
Yeah.
Because I really only had 2 real serious relationships in my life, and the other one totally failed because communication with effort on this end, no effort on the other end. So when I found someone else That was huge for me because it's like, okay, at this point, I don't need anything except for someone to want to communicate with me. I don't quite know what that looks like yet. And he came in with this assertiveness, and we had very different energy, but it was also very complementary. You have to see and want to appreciate that and not take it as a pushback or something toxic just because it makes you feel uncomfortable. You grow through uncomfortability. So it's like, okay, I don't like this, but a lot of my mind thought was like, does it take much for me to shift back and be like, if I made this change, does it hurt me or does it help me? It helps. Cool, let's shift. This is going to help. It's going to be uncomfortable. It sucks, but who else is going to make me want to do this? The other end. I won't do this for a lot of people because I'm not a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't need it. I'm going this way anyway.
Yeah.
That's how I've been my whole life. So it's like, this person makes me want to do this, even think or consider it. Okay. That's been a lot of shift between the both of us. It's like that validation is like, I see what you want. It will bring value to my life in the future, so let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's where the question and answer and being like, okay, stand back. Trust that this person is going in with good intention, not like just poking. We're not meeting each other yet, so what are we not hearing? Take space. And that in itself, like all these strategies where you go to slow down, has helped me just in my career. So that translates on like, I'm not better than kids. None of us are. These are just human behaviors. Use these strategies. So then we use it with each other. And it's like, this works. And it's comforting because it's very, we use it for kids. So our inner child gets this. Okay, it's calm, right? That's how it has happened. You have to want to do it and then trust. You have to give that trust, space, and time for it to happen. Not like, I gave it to you and it didn't happen, so
It's been 11 days.
Yeah, it's been 11 days. It's been like
it hasn't changed.
You got to consider it's been how many years that they've been in this? It's possibly that long, but you got to see each stage of change. It's probably not perfect.
You got to see it
won't
through.
be. See it through. And it's been working. You have to confirm with each other. It's like, okay, this is working. It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah, you have to have the tough conversations. And
Absolutely.
I appreciate you sharing that. What I'm hearing is the person, your person, will enable you to show up in that way. You'll want to make the subtle changes that may be really uncomfortable. And I get that. There's been a relationship I was in that was very near and dear to me. And there were compromises that we both made that were so just challenging in the beginning, but you see how much it's going to add to the relationship, and that right person will call that out of you. You'll want to give them that because is it hurting you? Is it taking away from you?
Yeah.
Most of the time it's not, because someone that truly loves you isn't going to have you do something that's hurting you or taking away from you. Like, and that just kind of reaffirms the trust. But it's that willingness to like actually come together. Most people get caught up in the dialogue of, well, he should know to do that, or she should know this is what.
That's what we're seeing a lot on social media that makes us, it's a lot of other people's mistakes that we actually take time in our days to reflect on. And we're like, whether we've already mitigated it or even better yet, like I mentioned to you earlier, the games we like to play that help bring us together. We even bring it into those, those moments where it's like, maybe the last few weeks, our work days have been pretty mundane and they've been the same old, but there's ways to break out of those little, ruts. And not to blame each other and think it's the other person's fault. It's like, well, let's get fucking creative here then. Like it's nobody's responsibility but our own. And we take a lot of that time to initiate those moments where we'll take these deck of cards and we'll get into each other's, but we even came up with a funny way to play, how Cards Against Humanity is not really a two-person game, but
you just get to see how deranged each of you are.
Yeah, kind of. Well, we started flipping it.
It's kind of crazy.
So let's say if you had the black card, and then we lay out 5 cards. We pick of the white cards. We say, okay, which ones do we think Joey's going to find funny? But if it was just 2 and 2, it would be like me and her. Which ones do I think she's going to find funny? So if it were 5 people, like which one do I think you would pick and why? The why is the kicker.
Yeah.
Because then you get to be like, what is it that you think of me?
What do you really think of me that you'd say that?
And then if they don't pick it, you get to learn something maybe a little bit more nuanced, or you're like, really? I would have for sure thought. And you're like, nope, this one. But it's, you know, it's nothing to hold them accountable to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's just for fun. And
Sometimes he'll pick ones like, I thought you'd pick this. I was like, but that made me laugh right now. So.
yeah.
Do you feel like there's some couples that aren't able to play, and this comes at the coattail of our conversation earlier, and we can ixnay names, but playing those card games, I've also been in that experience where like I love playing those card games to like get to know people like that like I'm not only like in an intimate relationship with, but also like friends of mine, because it's like I have some friends and I'm like, dude, tell me this thing about you. I don't know this and I've known you for like ever. And those games are fun, but there are some settings where some people don't take the honest truth well. And
Triggering.
yeah, it's like it's triggering. And I always think in those instances, you know, what does that say about your relationship if you can't hear this? And it usually has something to do with like some sexual nuance or something to do with an ex. I've witnessed this happen. So we're playing the game, this card game, and I won't mention which one it is because I don't get free exposure on this show unless they pay me.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm glad
Yeah.
I kept my mouth shut. I was just like, a card game.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have an affiliate, like, we'll drop your link. That's the
Maybe
thing.
someday,
Like,
but yeah.
that's the thing is, like, whenever it happens, we'll drop it in this video.
Definitely.
Like,
I mean, you're sure. I would recommend you consider who we're talking about, because
Yeah.
it's made by psychologists, and it was well designed, so much that we can't play it anymore because our
There are
values.
ways around
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
any of those where you're like, we don't think that way, so how are we going to answer?
yeah, there's some question games that I've played that I'm like, this isn't a great question. But to bring that back around, I was playing one of the games and it asked a sexual nuanced question. And it had to do with how many times you've had sex. And it meant like, just like, had sex like in general in lifetime, not how many partners. Yeah, this is why you read the cards over and over. She thought it said how many sexual partners. So she said it, and then he read the card, and she was like, wait, what do you mean? He was like, what did you think it said? And she was like, I thought it said how many sexual partners. And he was like, that's how many fucking partners you... And oh my God, if you had to witness a metaphorical class 1 hurricane happening in front of you, oh my God, I wish it was on a podcast. Like, we should play that. I should bring couples on and we should play a question card game with couples.
you want to?
We had that idea.
We should do that sometime.
We could
You
set
guys
the
should
baseline,
You guys
dude.
should do that bit. You guys should do a podcast and do that.
We've considered it. It's just that I know we're here today right now with your podcast, but to do our own, I just feel like, I don't know, you tell me if you agree or disagree, but if I'm speaking for both of us, it's just a matter of privacy. You know? We've considered trying avatars and things like that. It's just more time though. And we love each other because we spend time with each other.
Yeah.
And we have such success because we put a lot of energy into each other. And there's pros and cons to a lot of those things. But yeah,
I
there's
actually like you.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't need a podcast because I like every
being
couple's podcast. They don't like each other is what they just said. I'm just kidding. I'll clip that and use it for something.
No, it's just, we find it's a weird conundrum to be in where we lack ambition because we feel personally that a lot of ambition is tied to certain goals in life. And quality relationships, especially intimate ones, is some of those goals. And when you already have that without half of the things that people pursue to obtain that kind of relationship, it kind of kills your want to go get for a lot of things, you know, and then you kind of, it's allowed us to kind of narrow our scope to what we only with things we care about and what matters. I try to use the 4 tile rule and I apply it to our life as a general rule of thumb. We only focus on 4 things. And number 1 thing is each other. And then after that, it's, you know, what, not what makes us happy, but what makes us fulfilled. And fulfillment can be even in the moments of discomfort. You know, we've also learned to embrace discomfort. Like, you know, hey, you're uncomfortable right now. That's okay. It's okay.
Like validating the feelings that are there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I need to be fucking pissed right now for about probably, if it's a day, I'm sorry, but I promise you, it'll be worth the wait. But it's more worth the wait than trying to antagonize or force situations or you answer me now.
Yeah. What's wrong? What's on your mind?
Yeah.
Talk. And it's
and that's part of our language.
Yeah.
Like, if I tell you I need space, trust that I need space. And also trust that I'm not going to go fuck around or mess around.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually take the space to reflect because I want to come back to you. Once again, it's like, I do like you. You can love the person all the time. Love is easy. Like is hard. Maintaining like is hard. And it's like, okay, I do like you. I want you back in my space, but not right now because we're not good for each other right now. Cool. That's why spend time with that?
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. And most individuals get caught up in that dogma of like, oh, they're out. Like fucking Peter and Paul, they're doing all of these things. And it's like, where did this, I usually, when I hear that in the work I do, I ask people, where did that thought come from? Like, where is that? Do you have reason to believe that? And it's like peeling away the layers. And sometimes it's just this arbitrary thought because media as well. Social media plays a big role. You know, you can scroll through it and you can see it any given day. You can find like cheater videos and all kinds of stuff. I've done a bunch of reactions on my channel to some, and I've had some guys that I work with, and when I used to work with women, like I've had those actual videos like shared with me. And it's sad to see those things, but it also impressions someone's thought. When you watch social media, when you watch anything, when you read things, that impressions thoughts sometimes that people didn't consent to. And if it's something like infidelity, the thing is, healthy space is exactly that. It's healthy. Like,
Need it.
yeah,
As a
sometimes you just need a
human,
different
you need
environment.
it.
Like, sometimes a plant doesn't grow because it's sitting in the shade.
Yeah.
It just needs to like get out into the sun. And sometimes when we're just sitting like in frustration, I confidently share with guys that I've worked with, like if there's that much friction, like take space, like go stay somewhere, but be clear in your communication in it. Don't just, I'll see you later. Because what you actually want her to do is to send you a text, where are you? Because then in your mind, you're like, she cares.
Couldn't agree more, dude.
Yeah, and it's like the like you run, like when someone runs away, the fuck you buy, they block someone, and it's like, no, they want you to call them 100 times, do the things, chase after them, because it reaffirms the story that they've told themselves in their mind that when you chase in some way, they care, instead of just turning to someone saying, I need space. Can you just tell me that you care because I care about you? And sometimes people won't just like, let me just be raw, but instead let me be cruel to you because that's what I've been conditioned to do to get love. And sometimes like kids learn it as children when they're like, they throw these temper tantrums, and it's like, granted there's circumstantial and situations where certain cases they may need to self-soothe, but other times it's just you coddle them before they're able to get to that point. And as an adult, when you get there, it's just, you have these adults that are dating that are really children trying to figure out how to feel their emotions and how to actually conflict resolve. Because we live in a, I'm going to pause there because I was going to go off on a esoteric jargon. And I was going to say, we live in a world of people that walk away from what no longer serves them.
Well,
Because we're close to Encinitas out here.
well, I appreciate what I do, and I've stayed, like, I've gone back to this field, taken a huge pay cut, and can't really find my way out of it. I really love it
Yeah.
because I get to practice this every day. I get to work with kids, and I've been in this field for 20 years. Work with kids of all different ages, but they're still in their developmental stages where they're going to have to feel things. They're going to have big emotions where they don't even know what these emotions come from. And some of it's just feeling, some of it's just human, like the cheating aspect. You viscerally already have that within you. And then you see on social media and you watch things and it reconfirms it, and you have this image, and that could be me too. However, if you're getting a relationship and you're trying to be intentional, you're like, okay, I've been cheated on before. I have reasons to not trust. But also, this is a new person. Am I bringing this on to this person? No. This is new. They haven't done anything to really...
Yeah, it's not fair to them to
It's
hold
not
them
fair
to
to
that.
them, so I have to step back and trust. okay, so in the beginning, yeah, some of those things, hard moments were really hard, really intense. But then it slows down. We start to learn, like, okay, we need that space so we can feel our feelings. This is just like the kids. Okay, use a strategy. Okay, it's okay. And it totally, first validate, like, I totally understand why you're mad. I don't have to agree, but, like, in that situation, what you're feeling right now, you're not getting what you want. You're feeling angry, anxious, whatever it may be, and you need this space. Go for it. I'm here when you need me.
Yeah, it's that reaffirmation. Yeah, and it's okay to ask someone, like, can you validate my feelings? For, like, it's okay to
like,
ask.
it's
your
not
partner.
crazy.
Yeah.
But he asked me that all the time. Like, it's not crazy to feel this, and I'm like, yeah. And again, reaffirming is another way. Like, it's okay to feel this, although I am not sure in that aspect.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it later. That's the calmest way you can actually bring it. That's what we want. But in anxiety, it doesn't
you're not
sound-
telling them they're alone, but you're just
No.
saying, I don't have the same feeling. But it's kind of like the difference between empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is like, I'm in the trenches, I'm with you. Empathy is like, it's valid for you. I get it. I may not feel the same, but I love you. Let's take space. And it allows you to be collaborative, but also have individuality. And people are like, no, if they're sad, I should be sad. No, not at all.
That's the
Like,
other thing we
the-
have in our relationship. Like, we don't need help being sad.
Yeah.
If you need me to be there, I'll be there. But if you don't, there needs to be a person out here to be that anchor. And then that person can come, because we don't need to be in here. Then now we both have to try and get help. And
misery
it's
loves
not
company, and it's like it does no good.
That's
Like,
just a saying.
you
It's
can
not true.
commiserate and like stoke the fire sometimes when you like. Sometimes you're frustrated and you're just like, hey, can I share something?
rah,
And you're like, yeah, forget them. Okay, I'm good. You don't have to both commiserate in the misery, because then you're both mad. But you're able to rationalize, like, what I'm hearing is each of you have individual emotions. And even when you're indifferent, you're able to come together. And even when you may not feel it or you may not feel it, you're able to say that, and you know that you're not being abandoned at the end of it.
Well, to add value to that, something more specific, because I feel like if somebody's listening to this, they'd like some kind of insight. Like, what is it about us that, what are we doing? So, for example, you said a lot, and but and it's missing just the one thing. So, what's something we do? Because the hardest thing to do is bring up an issue to someone when they are part of the issue. So we have a lot of rules based around that.
I remember you guys mentioning this years ago. We've been friends for a long time, and we were sitting in your old place, and you guys had mentioned rules and words that you don't use with each other. So I'm following, and I just wanted to like, there's and you had shared this, and I thought at the time, I was much younger then, and it was a long time ago. I think it was like 6 years.
Yeah,
It's
been refined over the years.
It's been a long time.
Over and over again.
But in that, like, you guys have always had a grid, and I'm just like future pacing for like people listening to this. Like, it's evolved over time.
Absolutely.
Like, you guys didn't. This is the way. If we go out, like, that's, and most people think like it's not the way it was, and it's like maybe it's meant to evolve and like transition.
Grow, so that has
like,
to grow too and shift.
Something we had this conversation recently. For anybody who gets married and they're expecting their person to just be done. You show up, I marry you, you're done. Like, you should never change, you should never evolve, and let alone this. Here's the stupidest part, that you as the person should never also change or evolve. Like me, and it's like, oh, I should always be that guy you met. Hey, thanks for picking me. I appreciate it, but God help me if I was still that guy. And not shitting on myself, but I've grown.
Yeah.
And I rejoice for that. I'm not gonna.
You also have a growth mindset. I think
This is
something. I
true,
believe
yeah.
that's a value you both share. Like,
We do.
Because since I've known each of you, you both have like continued on your paths and like done more things in your life. And like, there's some people we know in our circles that have not. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
Nothing against them, but you guys have aspirations in not only your relationship, but like the life that you want and what you want to do. And
home is everything, man.
Yeah.
Everything is about home, and home is everything. And that's the only space where it is what you create it to be, just like your space, you know? And we appreciate what you do here because it, you know, it reflects who you are. I feel like it tells a story, it tells a truth about the person, and it seems very authentic to who we see you to be. You know, you're a deep person, rich person, and we like to do the same thing with our home. You haven't been over yet.
Yeah.
But if you do, man, it's Mike
Not
and
if,
Tweet
when.
all day. It's playful, you know, and we always joke because, like, you know, we grew up with families that homes are designed for people to come over, but never for the people who are there all the fucking time. If you're fortunate to be home as much as we get to be home, which we don't even think it's enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just chores. Cool.
Yeah, I never understood when individuals, and I appreciate you sharing that. It's like when you have a home and you guys have created a home together, you love being there because you've curated it to be your environment together. And that's the thing with the home. There's a difference between a place that you sleep and a home. You know, a home, it's more than just the things you have. It's the reason it's the way it is. It's
a lot of intention
the
in our
place. Yeah, it's the intentionality. And would you also say that that intentionality is just a value that each of you share? You're intentional with why you're doing the career you're doing, why you're doing the work you're doing, and why you both are intentional in your homes and so on and so forth. Is that
Absolutely.
That's in my vow. The words in my vow. It's very intentional.
It's in your vows?
Yeah. Wow. It's a very intentional love, and it's always a choice. Like, knowing it's always a choice. I'm choosing this. Okay. And it's every time I check in again, I want to make this shift. I'm choosing this person. Those words are also in my vow. Because it's very true, and it's the words you choose to put in your mind. I chose this person. I get to choose again and again every time I make a decision. I get to choose. I don't have to. That can stop. Like, there's nothing. We don't have a kid. We don't have to be tied to us. You got to be able to respond to your body, and it keeps checking. Like, yeah, I want this. I want this. It's a nice confirmation, and it's been
body
intentional
knows.
since the beginning. Yeah, and I definitely do go trust my body ever since I was little. It's always been. I'm very intuitive. Like, if I don't feel it, I'm just like, I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah.
I'm okay being alone. I'm okay being with a crowd. I'm kind of okay being whatever, but I won't go against what I don't.
And you're able to check into that. Many people won't pay attention to that. Like, I'll ask people, like, no, not like when you have sex, but like when you're around them, like, how do you physically feel in your body? Like, do you feel at ease, or they're like, no, like, I don't feel good. And I'm like, the body keeps the score, bro.
Yeah.
There's a great book called The Body. That's right up
keeps
here.
the score. I know.
And it's sometimes your body is reminding you that there's familiarity attached to this person. They're going to hurt you, dog. Like, it's usually not a good thing. Or if you're feeling this buzzing feeling, like that emotional feeling, you feel this draw towards someone, and I call it an allure. It's your body letting you know gene expression is a real thing. And many people call it intimacy. And like, I was having this conversation with my friend who's a woman the other night, and she was like, gene expression. I said, yeah. Have you ever been intimate with someone and it's just different? It's different connections, like their touch is different and you feel it? I said, that's gene expression, polarized in an in-depth way. Have you ever been around someone and your body just like, you feel uneasy? That's your body letting you know that there's familiarity of something traumatic or uneasy. Some people will also say spiritual, but it's one and the same, technically. But many people won't pay attention to that. Like, do they feel good? And it's usually as simple as that. Does it feel good in my body? Like, body usually knows. Like, because if you like someone and they touch you, you know if you like their touch instantly. And if you don't like it, you know instantly. Like, our body knows. And I think it's great that you're both able to bring that into the relationship with the intentionality, because it starts there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had that conversation too about our visceral responses, because our visceral responses, and that brings me full circle back to the value I wanted to add with regards to how we approach the uncomfortable conversations of like, hey, I really have to talk to you about something, or or perhaps like days when you're not as joyful and I'm clueless as to what's going on. So I've come up with a strategy recently, and I learned this, I think through Dr. Jordan Peterson's podcast, or just it might have just been as simple as just listening to his language, which I really enjoy doing. And now approaching her whenever it's like, I don't say she's overreacting, I don't call her out. I just go, based on scenario XYZ, it seems like we both had disproportionate reactions to that. And my reaction wasn't big and yours was. So is there something going on there? Because I'd like to understand and see how I could be of help. And if not, then if you just need your time, is that okay? Because I don't want to go, I don't want to have to share the discomfort if I don't have to. And if something you could sort out on your own, otherwise, if I could be of help, I'm cool. But if not, can I go be okay over here? Can I keep my okay while you do your thing if you need to feel uncomfortable? Because she does have she has what I feel seems disproportionate reactions to certain things in life, but I can criticize or I can just let her have her little monsters because they're there for a reason. Her life taught her to react that way. Back to the body keeps the score, right? So do I diminish the monster that in certain situations might be necessary? Do I tell all her protection signals to go away? Or do I say, hey, can I just be cool over here and you don't hold it against me while you go through this, visceral response? And we understand that about each other and we'd be like, yeah, it's fine, And I was obviously I'm wise enough now to know to be like, okay, I'm gonna fuck off then. But that's not personal. And she never turns it around. That's the key though. She follows through. And she knows I'm always waiting and and waiting in good spirits too. Oh, you have to go be a little pain in the ass right now. I'll have a day too. I'm gonna need that. And I'll want that space and I'll want her to have the same understanding,
you're able to both give each other that reciprocity and also not take it personally.
The practices every day too.
Just
my job.
By the way, we had the same job at one point, so I'm not without the experience.
So with the little kids that come through when they have to feel these things, you're like, oh, you just need that? Okay, that's cool. Go do it over there. I'll check in with you in 2 minutes. And it's like, I'm not gonna bother you. We're not gonna talk to each other. Sometimes you have to make that rule because they'll try to talk to you, but then it's still like you don't know that my voice right now is very annoying to you. So if you try to talk to me and I talk to you back, you're not gonna hear me. So we're doing quiet, okay?
That's like reaffirming
right
that.
Go. What do you need right now for a strategy? Breath. Go put a blanket over yourself. What do you need? Go do that. I'll set a timer and we'll come back and check. And let me know. And that's what we literally do. Maybe not in the nicest language like that because I talk to kids, but it does get.
But you guys are clear.
We're clear, and it was like, oh, you just need to feel it. I'm not gonna stop it. That's some of these kids, like they're hitting, they're biting you and stuff. I don't want you to stop that because you might need that in certain defenses right now. Let me help you see which environment that's appropriate and what's not. But keep that.
See, that's powerful there.
And not being mean. You could be upset, but you can't be mean.
And
That's upset, but don't be mean.
Because you
that's valuable.
Upset.
There's some people that are going to hear this that will get value from that. You can be upset, but you can't be mean. There's a client that comes to mind that should say that to his wife because she is cruel to him. I could tell you, I'm not going to say it out loud, but mean in a way that it's like, I told him last time I was on a call and I was like, people can't talk to you this way. And I was like, dude, what if a man talked to you this way? And he was like, and this guy's like 6'4", specimen, super successful guy. And he's like, well, I'd have to deal with that. And I was like, why is the person that you love and you have 3 children with talking to you this way then? And it's like, when you let it get that far, when there's no parameters of what's okay and hey, you can be upset, but you can't be mean. And that's the antithesis of what I was sharing with him. And I said, she can be angry, but she can't be mean to you. You're not a punching bag. Just because you're her husband does not mean you need to carry all her shit. And many people lose sight of that. This is your partner that you love. You deserve to give them some compassion through clear communication, not this I'll talk to you later.
You don't have to lose yourself. That's the thing. That's where you can be upset, but you can be mean. You don't have to lose yourself by holding it in and not being upset. that's not normal. That'll blow up at some point.
Yeah, and it's like the stomping around. I see the stomping. I see the anger.
Okay, do you want me to respond to that, or you just need space? There's that. There's people who showboat that they're mad, but then you ask them what's wrong, like, nothing. They just want you to keep asking, and I can't handle that.
Yeah, I
we
can't.
We both can't, so we talked about it.
Yeah.
So if you tell me you don't need help, I'm going to give you space respectfully. If you need to come back, I will. Don't play.
Just to be clear, the space. So we can even break down the strategy further.
Yeah.
The space is for the visceral response that, that part of your shitty personality that you can't control that everybody has, And again, when it comes to things that come across as disproportionate to the other person, they're not having the same response. It's like, oh, okay, something's going on over there. If you can't be of help, remove yourself kindly and let the other person know you're still on their side. Now, it doesn't always need to be words, because here's what'll happen. I'll use myself as the example, because I've been the example many a times in this situation. If I'm pissed at something, and I've made it known that, hey, I'm just gonna need some space. If it's visceral, I'm like, we have the whole safe word, like, no, stop. Like, this ends right now. We're not going to say anything good to each other. Let's walk away.
So you guys have like there's a word.
Yeah.
Like if the word is said, it's
and
like the...
It always requires some refinement, but we've found more refined ways nowadays. And also we've also giving each other the space to have those dark moments and not seeing it as a flaw in the other person's character, because we'd be a hypocrite. Period.
Yeah.
Like without
no
question.
One's perfect.
No one.
No one is a saint at all.
And it's not her fault because she has a vagina and I, none of these stupid fucking things. You're just a stupid fucking human being. Get over it, right? And then so when I'm ready to start being around her again, I don't start talking to her. I go and I honor my relationship. I honor the values that we share, and I start doing simple things. If the trash needs to be taken out, I start taking out the trash. If the house needs to be cleaned up, if it's almost dinner time, maybe I wasn't so happy with you that morning, right? But you still come home to food. I honor her in the ways that show that even if I'm not the happiest with you, maybe I don't have anything great to say to you, but I'm going to still show up where it matters, good or bad, like discipline. Do the thing you don't like.
Yeah. You're not going to give the person you love contempt just because you guys are indifferent.
Right.
Yes.
I still care and I want to
you're not trying to teach her a lesson because you guys are upset. And people do that. And it's like, what?
And
they don't
why?
Mix.
That's been our contract and has saved us. I feel like that's a huge part of what has kept minor little earthquakes to keep them from going into huge freaking explosions, because
it's consistency. You can be consistent even when shit's on the rocks.
Yeah.
And if someone can be consistent when like there's individuality and you're taking space, and you can still follow through on the responsibilities and the nuances that are really
the things I say, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Like we matter.
Yeah,
because if I start
I'm not abandoning you.
I'm not
like,
doing
I'm still with you.
I'm not abandoning.
Also, we don't go out. Like we get upset. There's no like I used to have to go, but I had reasons, and it took a long time for her to get used to it. But when I understood that my reason for escaping off into the car was because I grew up without any personal space. I didn't have a bedroom growing up. And then being veteran and all. The car was my safe haven in a lot of places that I've been in bad times. I could always just go escape, drive away, call it what you will, a cop out. I don't give a fuck. That was my coping mechanism. She had to endure that until after a while, when I was able to put it into words, it's like, this is just how I handle it. I don't like who feel like I'm becoming in those instances. Please just let me have the space. No, I would drive a block away. I wouldn't even go far. It was just to get away from that energy.
Yeah. But you can synthesize it then.
Right. Right. I couldn't because I was too busy being upset and ruminating. And that's what she would be afraid of. But with the time and the positive reinforcements that she was there for me, I started finding new approaches because she would respond well to them, which then allowed me to repeat them. We don't repeat anything that doesn't receive positive reinforcement, period. And I didn't grow up in that kind of situation. She's probably one of the very few people, and I have fucked up some situations in my life where I was receiving it but didn't recognize it or didn't have a replacement strategy or behavior for it. And I paid the price, and so did others. And I've learned from that though. Otherwise I wouldn't have the relationship I have today. And we talk about those hard, and they're not even hard. It's more like you had to go through that to be who you are. Yeah. I don't care. Whatever it was, as long as nobody, you're not on the run.
Yeah.
I would never change your past.
Yeah.
Because I love who I have here with me today. And
that's one of the things I ask someone when I get to know someone. When I was going through the dating world, I would ask someone, what did you learn from your last relationship?
Yeah.
They err on the side of caution with the ones that are like, oh, he did this and who did this. And I'm like, I am very forthright with people. And I'll be like, what did you do?
Yes.
Like, I'll straight up ask them, what did you do in the relationship? Oh, well, I did this. No, like, you were saying,
no.
If we were to call your ex, and like, because I'm genuinely curious, because what I want to hear is like, what did you actually learn? Because just because it ended doesn't mean that you were excluded from anything going wrong, unless you just are terrible at picking people and you just picked a horrible person, and that actually just says more about you than anything.
Yeah, you're still the common denominator.
But it's like, what I'm hearing is you each were able to like see the things that you learned from the past and also come together, and you were able to have compassion, and you were able to also lean in, because I can relate to that. Like I didn't have my own room until I was emancipated at 15. And then I had a room where my bed touched all four corners. And I thought I made it then. And so this home was like a dream, and the dream continues expanding. And I don't have them up here, but all the journals that I bless you. I have these journals that I've written since I was 17. And there's things that have happened that I've like written about that have literally specifically, like working for TEDx. I wrote about that in 2012, and it happened in 2014. I have this all in journals, like written with the date and everything. And in it, there's nuances of relationships where I've like mentioned like certain lessons I want to learn and really like embody. And it took knowingness, but it also took recognizing that retreating, I also used to go to my car, even when I had like an apartment with a partner. Like, and I didn't know what else to do, because the only time I ever saw conflict with my mom, she would storm off anytime I would try to have like a clarifying conversation. And this is then. And it taught me that conflict resolve is actually saying like a visceral one-liner and storming off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like ending it, drawing it, like proverbial Braveheart is what I call it. You draw a line in the sand, like you're ready for war, and then you storm off. And I used to go to my car. And then when I got older, was able to recognize that I would get really passionate about certain things. And unlike my mom, I don't raise my voice. I just like stay at this tone, which I've gotten the feedback makes it much worse. Like it seems like you're very stoic, and like it's kind of like feel like you're about to tell me, hey, it's done. And so now I have to bring it a little more lighthearted. We're really passionate right now.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's the same thing, because I know who I become when I get to that point of wanting to be like retreating, because I really just need to like be with my emotions for a second. And I was conditioned to deal with that on my own, because I was an only child. I spent a lot of time on my own. And anytime I was in environments where I had heavy emotions, I never had anyone around me that showed me how to manage those. And then, I mean, and shout out to amazing women that are out there that were able to be present with me and give me compassion, even when I was a little shit. And there was a woman that I was with, my daughter's mom, and I remember I had retreated, and that's what I learned what it was. And she like literally ran after me, and she grabbed my hand and she was like, hey, we can talk about this together. Like, come sit. And it was the first time I had someone like compassionately say something like that. And it felt like there was a different part of me that was connecting with that. But it was because of that it led me down this different path like 6-7 years ago. And it was because of that it also allowed me to see like all of these instances in my past where I was retreating in some way. Sometimes it was the car. Other times it was storming down the alleyway. And then I won't say the other things because this will be public online.
No, it's fair. You know,
There's so
and
many different
We
forms
all
of it.
retreat though. I ran up a tree a lot. I mean, I climbed a lot when I was little because that was the only way that adults won't follow you. So that was
We
my
have 11
privacy.
minutes, by the way.
And so that when the storming off of the car thing, that would actually be my trigger. And I had to work with that. Like, okay, it's your trigger. It seems like giving up. But also like this person needs space. So just that talk back. So in the beginning it's hard, but then it gets easier when you're like, hey, the person comes back. I trust this person. And it takes both sides. That's the reinforcement. Like you can go and come back and still be focused, not try and like brush it off. Or just go mess around and then come back and like, hey, it's okay again. I trust you. So okay, go.
Yeah. And I think the thing with space that I just want to add is having clarification, not just, I need space, I'll be back.
yeah, you're absolutely
Like
right.
that is, you want to create anxiety for someone and make them think you're going to do something, say that. Like, hey, we're both really passionate about this right now. I believe we should take healthy space for 24 hours. I'll talk to you tomorrow at this time. You have to follow through on that time because
agree
that
more.
consistency is also like cooking the food. Like it's, you have to do all of the things still and be consistent, but you have to have parameters and specifics, like the ambiguity of like, well, no, they should know like what space. Okay, but they don't. Or maybe they did, but they don't now. And everyone thinks that their partner's a mind reader. And I'm like, where did you guys get those skills? Because I need them.
I know.
I need them. But it's like you both are clear. And if someone's not clear, like I remember being asked for space and I'm like, what does that look like?
Yes.
And she's like,
That
what do you
was
mean? And I'm like, but
huge.
like what is space? And she's like, well, I just need like physical space. I know how long. And she's like, oh, like 30 minutes. I'll come back and talk. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I should have been clear. And I was like, yeah, I was just confused. Like, you go into like space? and she laughed, and because it was making light of the tough situation.
Right.
And
It's
but
brilliant.
in that, it's like all of that to say, when you have clarity, like how long is space, the ambiguity, like I'll be back. Like you're not Terminator. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it helps because then you're not like feeling like you're being left on this real, like, I'm just gonna have to sit and wait.
Yeah,
No,
like
you're
that's-
being respected. Like, I need 20 minutes. I'll check in with you. If you still need more time, let me know. That's all it is. Be okay with that.
Yeah.
Don't have an expectation. You said 20 minutes. I think I still need 5 more. Okay.
Yeah.
all
Like
it is.
have clarity, like clearly communicate in it.
This is how she reinforced it. And if this is the last thing I say, I think this will be the most valuable thing because, well, maybe not the most, but in context it is. When I used to take space and the card thing and all that stuff, it got better in regards to being clearer as to what the parameters were in regards to like how long do I plan on taking space and why. That was an initial, and that's why she was so uncomfortable. But the act and the practice of just getting better and more refined in our speech to each other and our understanding allowed for those moments when I would still do it to become shorter and to ruminate less. Because she would be worried I would ruminate. She wasn't wrong, but that was only part of the picture. You ruminate until you get to the part of, okay, what do I really want here? You know, you make sense of it. And then also another rule, a little rule we have is we don't bring back, I have an issue. Let's say I think, because in most instances, you don't really have an issue with the person. The person's just being themselves. Even if it's a significant other, it doesn't fucking matter. They need to be themselves and you need to allow them that agency. But in that same tone, it's like, what is it that's happening here? Do I know the full picture? And you can go rattle off a ton of questions. At the end of the day, is like, do our values still match? Do I need confirmation? If there's been a mismatch in value, that's where I need her to insert her input so that I can know where I stand. And then we can make plans. If nothing's changed, then maybe it's a matter of like, are you doing X, Y, Z and I'm missing it because I felt like this, you know, disconnect for this value that I thought we shared. And either we still share it and something needs to be recommunicated, or perhaps a new strategy needs to be designed so that we can both understand when the other person is doing the thing that we're asking for, but we're missing it. or maybe you could become better. It's a give and take, you know, but it became shorter and shorter. And now I don't leave at all. I never leave anymore because I can now come to her and just be like, you know, it seems like something might be off there. Do you need, you know, and I'm an ally.
And vice versa.
It's just ally. And like, you know, she praised me earlier in the beginning of this because of that, but that's healthy growth. And I couldn't have done it without her always showing up for me, even in my ugliest times, and reinforcing my efforts and always showing me that you're doing great. I want more.
Men
of
need
that.
to be championed when they're doing well.
Right. And
vice versa.
She didn't point out my ugliness. She didn't reflect on my temper, my anger, or whatever. That didn't need a spotlight. And she understood that. And that allowed me to, those things started to just melt away because it's like, I don't need that here. Now that side of me is reserved for other, you know, issues in life that's never going to go away because there's no fucking way in hell, you know? Because even to protect her in those instances, but yeah, I couldn't have done it without her, man. But it's this constant feedback loop. I do, she responds in the way that reinforces what I did, lets me know that's the right thing.
Yeah.
And it makes me a better person, a better communicator, a lot of things. And then I'm like, I can get to these solutions so much faster now that they're almost instant now. And we're not even at our 10-year mark yet. I mean, so I don't know what I do without it, you know, but it's a unified effort for sure. It's no one here is the angel and
no one's like,
no, we're not saving each other.
Yeah.
This is all intention.
It's together.
We also know our lives would probably be completely different if we were separated from each other or never met. We understand that those would take different paths, and that's not a personal thing. Like, oh, would your life be different without me? Yeah, motherfucker, probably.
Yeah. Like when people ask that,
Be.
if you were single, would you date this Starburst rapper? Like
That's another rule we don't do.
Why do you ask this arbitrary question?
You're looking at one of the only women in the world who I don't know, but she doesn't ask me hypotheticals like, would you love me if I was a fucking worm?
I did that.
Like,
Would you love me if I was a worm?
and if she doesn't, I know she said 1,000%
I'd
goofing
be
off.
like, am I a worm?
He's like, show me the worm. I'm like, okay.
Remember that video you showed me? Like the girl was asking her man, like if you were in a room with 100 women, and he tried to flip it, and he was like, well, what am I doing in a room with 100 women? And she was like, what are you doing Dude, that does not exist in our house.
This was a video that was shown on the I was like, oh my gosh, what? She totally just...
That's called entrapment.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have chalked that up.
First, I gave him praise before she even responded. I was like, that's a great response, dude. And she's like, what are you doing? Whoa, what? That he asked. Yes. What am I doing? He just asked you that question.
It's wild.
Those games are not allowed in our
And then
home.
she went off, and he was just like...
Yeah,
no
those,
way.
I refer to that. I was sharing this with a friend last night, and she said that she was someone that is a lot to handle. I said, I don't think you're a lot to handle. I think that you have elegance and respect for yourself, and you hold yourself to a high standard. I don't think you're a lot to handle. I know women that are a lot to handle. They're like a metaphorical bull. And here's the truth. Like, it's fine. Like, you can be you, but no real man is going to want to come home and tame a bull because you're not actually a lot to handle. You're an energy suck and you repel good men, but you believe you're a lot to handle. And really the men that those women end up with are the meek people pleasers that end up becoming my clients in the end of it. And the thing is, in those instances, like, they have to, what I say is called be the man. Like, you have to reaffirm, like, you can't talk to me this way. You cannot treat me this way. If you're in a relationship, like, that's not just how it goes. But I know many men that fall in those categories. It's sad.
I can't speculate on how men get to those spots. I've been in some short stint, like dating kind of relationships where I've had some women come at me aggressively. Yeah, dude, I am not the one, you know, like, I can't.
There was a phase of my life where when I was really young, I wasn't chosen because I was really overweight, really out of shape. And then I grew up, and then I got successful, and then I had something that everyone wanted and was chosen a lot. And you got to see the like ugly side of people and many different like polarities. And this is probably going to sound horrible, but I wasn't like a gigolo or anything like that. But during that, I got to see the crassness of how some people can be, and also on the inverse, in the work that I do now, the things that people will do just to get their needs met.